It's election night in America, and a nation in crisis is at a crossroads.
We're counting down to the first exit polls and the first results as our coverage begins now.
Across the nation, in red states and blue states and swing states, voters are delivering their verdict on a norm-shattering president and two starkly different visions of America's future.
The President of the United States lied to the American people, and he is unfit for this job.
If Biden wins, your country is gone.
Tonight, President Donald Trump fighting for a second term as a deadly pandemic gets worse on his watch.
All they want to talk about is COVID, 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 COVID.
But look, I got it, and I'm here, right?
Former Vice President Joe Biden battling to lead the country after 4 years of political turmoil and division.
There is no place for hate in America. Period. None.
It's a historic clash for the candidates and their running mates. Senator Kamala Harris aiming to be the first woman and person of color as vice president.
When we vote, things change. When we vote, we win.
Vice President Mike Pence hoping to remain as President Trump's loyal lieutenant.
We will make America great again.
With voters now flocking to the polls after record-breaking early turnout. How and when will this election be decided?
This is the most important election in the history of our country.
The power to change the country is in your hands.
This is CNN's coverage of election night in America.
We are going to keep on winning, winning, winning.
The race for the White House, the balance of power, and the challenges facing the nation.
There's not a damn thing America can't do when we decide to do it together.
The people are choosing. The world is watching. And anything is possible until the last vote.
This is a live view from high above Washington as Americans are deciding who will serve in the White House for the next 4 years. Welcome to our viewers here in the United States and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the CNN Election Center. Right now, voters are in the final hours of making a monumental decision for this country about who will lead us through the next 4 years, former Vice President Joe Biden or President Donald Trump. We're counting down to the first results from our exit polls. In about an hour, we'll get an early read on what voters are thinking as they cast their ballots. Then, buckle up for a suspenseful night. Voters in all 50 states are having their say in the heated fight for 270 electoral votes, the number needed to win the White House. 14 of those states are competitive battlegrounds that will ultimately decide the election. Georgia is the first key race of the night at 7 Eastern when we get the first big round of results. Democrats taking a shot at turning that traditionally red state blue. A half hour later, North Carolina and Ohio are in the spotlight with President Trump on defense in those states that he won 4 years ago. At 8 Eastern, the last polls close in Florida, the ultimate swing state and a must-win for the president, with New Hampshire and crucial Pennsylvania also in play. At 9 Eastern, we'll be watching key races in 6 states: Arizona, Colorado, Michigan, Minnesota, Texas, and Wisconsin. Michigan and Wisconsin are especially critical as states that sealed President Trump's win in 2016. At 10 Eastern, Iowa and Nevada are the races to watch as we get deeper and deeper into the night and the fight for electoral votes goes into overdrive. We're covering it all, along with Jake Tapper and our entire political team. Jake.
Wolf, we're keeping an eye on voting underway across the country, especially in those key battleground states. Remember, even before today, more than 102 million Americans had already voted in person or by mail. That's adding to the unpredictability of this election. We don't know if we'll learn the winner tonight or tomorrow or possibly after that. We're going to let the voters lead the way, and we are going to be patient. Let's check in.
Kentucky right right now. 11% of the estimated vote is now in. It's very close. 1,400 vote lead right now for Biden over Trump in Kentucky, 49.5% to 48.9%. 11 electoral votes in Kentucky very early. In Indiana, 5% of the estimated vote is in. Trump has a significant lead already. 41,700 vote lead over Biden, 62.9% to 35.1%. We're about to get our first chance to make projections in this historic race for the White House. We're counting down to the top of the hour, 7 p.m. here on the East Coast. All right, we have our first projection of the night. CNN now projects President Donald Trump will win Indiana. Trump beats Biden in Indiana, wins its 11 electoral votes, the first projection of the night. It's too early to call in these states right now. Too early to call in Georgia, a key battleground state with 16 electoral votes. Too early to call there. In Virginia, too early to call there. 13 electoral votes at stake in Virginia. Also, too early to call right now in South Carolina. 9 electoral votes in South Carolina. Too early to call in Kentucky. 8 electoral votes there. Too early to call in Vermont. 3 electoral votes right there. All right, let's take a look at where the Electoral College map stands right now. Donald Trump has 11 right now. Biden has 0. Remember, you need 270 to win this race for the White House. Let's get a key race alert. Right now, we'll start off with Kentucky. Right now, 12% of the estimated vote is in. Trump has a lead of about 9,400 votes over Biden. Look at this, 50.9%, 47.5% for Biden in Kentucky. 8 electoral votes once again at stake in Kentucky. Let's go to got a key race alert right now. Too early to call in these states, including in Ohio. Too early to call in Ohio. 18 electoral votes in Ohio. Too early to call. Too early to call in North Carolina as well. 15 electoral votes in North Carolina. Too early to call. West Virginia, 5 electoral votes. Too early to call in West Virginia right now. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map where it stands right now. It still remains the same. 11 Electoral College votes for Trump, Indiana. 0 so far for Biden. 200 that Joe Biden will win the state of Vermont. He beats Trump in Vermont. 3 electoral votes. So let's take a look at the map where it stands right now in the race to 270. Trump has 11. He won Indiana. Biden has 3. He won Vermont. 270 once again needed to win the presidency. We're only moments away from the biggest wave of poll closings in the presidential race. We're counting down to the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's when the last polling places close in Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, the District of Columbia, Florida, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Tennessee. Together, those contests have 172 electoral votes. That's a huge chunk of the 270 needed to win. Florida, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania are the key battlegrounds we're watching in the coming hour. Joe Biden posing a strong challenge to the president of Florida and Pennsylvania, states seen as crucial for Mr. Trump's re-election chances. Let's get a key race alert right now. And let's start off in Florida right now. Florida, look at this. It's very close in Florida. Joe Biden has 49.6%. Trump has 49.5%. Biden is ahead by 9,200 votes. 9,200 votes in Florida, 29 electoral votes. In Ohio, 18% of the estimated vote is in. Biden has a lead, an impressive lead of 347,000 right now, 64.4% to 34.5%. In Ohio, 18 electoral votes. In New Hampshire, only 3% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is ahead by about 3,000 votes, 54.8% to 44.4%. 2 more states. Let's take a look right now. We've got Georgia. Right now, 7% of the estimated vote is in. Trump is ahead by 9,000 votes or so, 50.8% to 48.2%. In Virginia, 13% of the estimated vote is in, and Trump is ahead by about 80,000 votes, 55.6% to 42.6%. Let's go back to John King at the Magic Wall. 2 electoral votes are at stake in the next hour. We got some CNN projections right now. Let's start in Massachusetts. CNN projects Joe Biden will win the state of Massachusetts, will win its 11 electoral votes. CNN projects Joe Biden will win the state of Maryland and win its 10 electoral votes. Another win for Biden in Maryland. Joe Biden will win his home state of Delaware with 3 electoral votes, a win in Delaware for Biden. And Joe Biden will win the District of Columbia which has 3 electoral votes as well. Trump, we have a projection for Trump right now as well. Oklahoma, CNN projects that Donald Trump will win. Biden is leading in these states right now. In Ohio, that's a key battleground. 28% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is ahead by almost 370,000 votes, 59.7% to 39.1%, 18 electoral votes. Biden is also ahead in Georgia right now. 10% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is up. It's very close by about 5,300 votes, 50% to 49% in Georgia. A tight battle underway. In New Hampshire right now, only 5% of the vote is in. Biden is ahead there by about 6,700 votes, 57.3% to 41.9% for electoral votes in New Hampshire. Trump is ahead in these 2 states. Let's take a look right now. Right now, Trump is ahead in Florida. 82% of the estimated vote in Florida is in, but he's ahead by about 11,000 votes. Look at how close it is in Florida right now, 49.6% to 49.4%. A tight battle in Florida underway right now. Trump is ahead in Virginia right now. 18% of the estimated vote is in. Trump has a 151,000 vote lead over Biden, 58% to 40.1%. That President Trump will win the state of Kentucky. He'll win Kentucky with its 8 electoral votes. That's a win for Trump in Kentucky over Biden. This is where it stands right now on the race to 270. Biden has 30. Trump has 26. Once again, 270 needed to win the president. State of Tennessee will win. Tennessee's 11 electoral votes. A win for Trump in Tennessee. Here's where the race to 270 electoral votes stands right now. Trump is now on top. He has 37 electoral votes. Biden has 30 electoral votes. Remember, once again, 270 needed to win the White House. CNN projects that President Trump will win the state of West Virginia with its 5 electoral votes. Trump wins West Virginia, 5 electoral votes. Too early to call in the state of Arkansas, which has 6 electoral votes. Too early to call there. Let's take a look at the race for 270. Let's take a look at where it stands right now. Trump right now has 42 electoral college votes. Biden has 30. Once again, 270 needed to win. We have a projection right now. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win the state of New York and win its 29 electoral votes. Biden beats Trump in New York State. We cannot make projections at this hour in these states: Arizona, Colorado, Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Mexico, North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Take a look at the Electoral College map where it stands right now. With Biden winning New York State, Biden is now ahead. He has 59 electoral votes to Trump's 42 electoral votes. Will win its 14 electoral votes. Biden beats Trump in New Jersey. We have a projection in Arkansas. President Trump beats Biden in Arkansas. He will win Arkansas 6 electoral votes. Trump wins in Arkansas. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map where things stand right now. Biden is still ahead. He has 73 electoral votes as of right now. Trump has 48. Remember, you need 270 needed to win the presidency. 7 more projections right now. All right, take a look at this. CNN now projects that Joe Biden will win the state of Connecticut. He beats Trump in Connecticut. He wins Connecticut 7 electoral votes. Trump, on the other hand, wins South Dakota. He beats Biden in South Dakota, 3 electoral votes in South Dakota. Trump is the winner there. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map where it stands right now. Biden has 80 electoral college votes. Trump has 51. You need 270. Let's take a look at the balance of power, what's going on in the U.S. Congress. Dana Bash is looking very closely at the U.S. Senate.
That's right, Wolf. We have 8 projections to make in U.S. Senate races, starting with the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and that is the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell. CNN can project that he will go on for another term. Same with Arkansas's Tom Cotton, keeps that seat going on for another term there. And in South Dakota, CNN can project that Mike Rounds will go back to Washington for a 2nd term. Tennessee, this is an open seat. Lamar Alexander is retiring. CNN can project that Bill Hagerty will win a 1st term there. In West Virginia, Shelley Moore Capito is going on for another term, according to CNN projections. And in Delaware, CNN is projecting that Chris Coons is going to go back to Washington. Representing that state, it was Joe Biden's old seat. New Hampshire, CNN is projecting Jeanne Shaheen is keeping her seat as well. And same goes for New Jersey. Cory Booker is going back to Washington representing New Jersey. Now let's look at some of the really important races we are watching right now. Colorado, right now, the Democratic challenger, John Hickenlooper, is ahead by a little more than 200,000 votes, 60.3%. The incumbent Republican Cory Gardner is at 38%, about 30% of the estimated vote in there. North Carolina, the Democratic challenger Cal Cunningham is ahead by just a little bit more than 57,000 votes at 48.5%. The incumbent Republican Thom Tillis at 47.3%. And in South Carolina, this is one that people across the country have been watching. Right now, the incumbent Republican Lindsey Graham is ahead pretty significantly. Now, let's look at what this all means in the big picture right now. Democrats are leading in 3 Republican seats. Democrats must pick up 4 Republican seats to flip the balance of power. And what is the balance of power right now? 39 Democrats, 36 Republicans, 25 seats remain to be called. Wolf?
All right, thanks very much, Jenna. We'll get back to you. Let's have another projection right now. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win the state of Colorado, will win its 9 electoral votes. He beats Trump in Colorado. Trump, on the other hand, wins in North Dakota. CNN projects Trump will win in North Dakota, pick up its 3 electoral votes. Trump is the winner in North Dakota. Here's the Electoral College map where it stands right now as a result of these projections. Biden is up to 89 Electoral College votes. Trump has 54, 270 needed to win the presidency. All right, take a look at this. CNN now projects that Donald Trump will win the state of South Carolina. He's the winner in South Carolina, will win its 9 electoral votes. CNN also projects Donald Trump will win in Alabama, will win its 9 electoral votes in the state of Alabama as well. Here's where the Electoral College map stands right now. It's close. Biden now has 89 Electoral College votes. Trump has 72 Electoral College votes, 270, of course, needed to win the presidency.
That's right, Wolf. In Colorado, CNN can project that John Hickenlooper, the former governor, the Democratic challenger, will be the next senator representing Colorado, defeating the incumbent Republican Cory Gardner. It's the first Democratic pickup of the night in the Senate. Democrats now must pick up 3 Republican seats. And right now, the balance of power is 40 Democrats, 36 Republicans, but 24 seats remain to be called tonight, Wolf.
We got a key race alert right now. We believe it's too early to call in Iowa, for example, 6 electoral votes right there. Too early to call in Nevada right there, 6 electoral votes. Too early to call in Utah right now as well, another 6 electoral votes there. It's too early to call in the state of Montana, 3 electoral votes right now. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map where things stand right now. There you can see in the race for 270 needed to win the presidency, Biden is still ahead. He has 89 Electoral College votes. Trump has 72 Electoral College votes. Right now, 55.4%. We have a projection right now. Take a look at this. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win in New Mexico right now. Take a look at that. Joe Biden wins in New Mexico. There he is, the winner in New Mexico. That's 5 electoral votes in New Mexico. So let's see where the Electoral College map stands right now. Right now, with that win in New Mexico, Biden has 94 electoral votes. Trump has 72 electoral votes. The all-important race to 270 needed to win, 94 to 72 right now. We have some more projections right now. Let's check in New Hampshire. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win the state of New Hampshire, will win its 4 electoral votes. Biden wins in New Hampshire. There are several states now where CNN projects that Trump is winning, 4 states specifically. CNN projects that Trump will win in Louisiana. He beats Biden in Louisiana, wins 8 electoral votes in Louisiana. CNN projects Donald Trump will win in Kansas, beats Biden in Kansas, 6 electoral votes there. Another 6 electoral votes in Utah. Trump wins in Utah. That's the CNN projection. And another 5 electoral votes in Nebraska. 3 out of the 5 electoral votes in Nebraska. 2 of them are still based on a congressional district. 3 out of 5 in Nebraska. So here's where the Electoral College map stands right now. Very, very close. Look at this. Biden has 98 Electoral College votes. Trump has 95. You need 270 to win the presidency. All right, let's take a look at this. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win the state of Illinois, will win 20 electoral votes in the state of Illinois, beats Trump in Illinois. Trump beats Biden in Missouri, 10 electoral votes in Missouri. Trump wins in Missouri. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map right now. And here's where it stands on the road to 270 needed to win. Biden now has 118. Trump has 105. 118 to 105, 270, the magic number. The president. All right, we have some projections right now. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win the state of California. That's the biggest prize of the Electoral College. 55 electoral votes. Biden will win California, beats Trump in California. CNN also projects that Biden will win in Washington state. 12 electoral votes. He beats Trump in Washington state. CNN also projects Biden will win in the state of Oregon. 7 electoral votes there. Biden wins in Oregon right now. One projection for Donald Trump right now. CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the state of Wyoming. That's 3 electoral votes. In Idaho, too early to call. 4 electoral votes in Idaho. We cannot make a projection there. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map, see where it stands right now. Right now, Biden has a wide lead. He has 192 Electoral College votes. Trump has 108. 190 will win the state of Mississippi, beats Biden in Mississippi, wins 6 electoral votes in Mississippi. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map right now. So with that, Biden still has 192 Electoral College votes. Trump now has 114 electoral. Dana Bash. She's got an update on the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. What are you learning, Dana?
We have some projections to make, Wolf, and that starts with Alabama. CNN can project that Republicans pick up a seat there. Tommy Tuberville will go on to be the very first term in the Senate there, beating Doug Jones, a Democrat. And in South Carolina, this is one of the most watched races in the country. Senator Lindsey Graham, CNN can project, is going on to win re-election, defeating an incredibly well-funded Democratic challenger. And in Georgia, this is one of 2 races we're watching tonight. This is the special election. CNN can project that this will go to a runoff. In the state of Georgia, a candidate needs 50% in order to win outright. That has not happened. So Democrat Raphael Warnock and Kelly Loeffler, who is the incumbent, appointed Republican, will go on to that runoff in January.
73% of the vote is in. Biden is now ahead by some 219,000 votes. 52.3% to 46% for Trump. All of a sudden, Biden takes the lead in Virginia, 13 electoral votes at stake in Virginia. That's significant, John. We were looking that Joe Biden is the winner in Virginia. Virginia goes for Biden. Biden beats Trump in the Commonwealth of Virginia. 13 electoral votes go to Biden. Take a look at the Electoral College map count. Right now, Biden has crossed 200. He has 205 Electoral College votes right now. Trump has 114, 207. CNN projects that President Trump will win the state of Ohio. Beats Biden in Ohio, 18 electoral votes in Ohio. That's a big win for Donald Trump in the state of Ohio. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map where it stands right now. With that, Biden still has 205. Trump has 132. 270 needed to win the presidency. Biden still ahead 205, 132. We're watching this very closely. And projects that President Trump will win the state of Idaho. Trump beats Biden in Idaho, wins 4 electoral votes in Idaho. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map where it stands right now with that win. Trump now has 136 Electoral College votes. Biden has 205, 270. That's the magic number you need to win the presidency. Let's get a key race. Minnesota. Biden beats Trump in Minnesota, wins 10 electoral votes in the state of Minnesota. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map right now. With that win in Minnesota, Biden now has 215 Electoral College votes. Trump has 136, 270, of course, being the number you need to win the presidency. Let's get a key in the state of Florida. A big win for President Trump in Florida. 29 electoral votes go to Donald Trump over Biden. That's a big win. Take a look at where things stand right now in the race to 270 needed to win. Biden still has 215 Electoral College votes. Trump now has 165 Electoral College votes. He just won Florida. That's a big win for the President of the United States. Democrats were hoping there could be some sort of upset in Florida. Next, President Trump will win the state of Iowa. He beats Biden in Iowa, 6 electoral votes in Iowa. Trump wins Iowa. Let's take a look at where the Electoral College map stands right now. Biden still has 215 Electoral College votes. Trump now has 171, getting closer, 270 needed to win. Electoral votes took a while, but Rhode Island wins now on the road to 270 needed to win. Biden now has 219. Trump has 171 with that win in Rhode Island. I believe you went to college someplace in Rhode Island.
Indeed.
CNN projects that President Trump will win the state of Texas. He beats Biden in Texas. He wins 38. That's a big number. 38 electoral votes. Here's where the electoral map stands right now. Biden now has 219. Trump has 209. You need 270 to be president of the United States. 219 to 209. John, Texas, a big win for President Trump.
Texas is
Nebraska, the 2nd congressional district, 1 electoral vote. CNN projects Joe Biden will win that 2nd congressional district in Nebraska. The last time that happened was in 2008 for a Democrat. 1 electoral vote that Biden will win in that 2nd congressional district in Nebraska. The other 4 out of 5 electoral votes of Nebraska, Donald Trump, the president, will win. He will win 4 electoral votes out of Nebraska. Joe Biden will win 1. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map where it stands right now. Look at how close it is. Biden now has 220 electoral votes. Trump has 210 electoral votes. 270, of course, the magic number needed to win. CNN projects President Trump will win the state of Montana, beats Biden in Montana. 3 electoral votes in Montana. Trump wins in Montana. Let's take a look at the map right now. 270 needed to win. Biden right now has 220, we've projected. Trump has 213. 270, once again, the key number. Let's get a key race alert.
All right, CNN can now project that the state of Hawaii will go for Joe Biden, and that means he gets those 4 electoral votes. What does that do to the tally? Let's take a look right now. Show us up here on the wall with those 4 electoral votes. You get him moving in. Well, this is a key race alert in Michigan. You have the president up 234,000 votes with 76% of the vote in. But with those 4 electoral votes, you now have 224 to 213. It is a move, but it does not change the story. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. Those are the 4 that we're watching. Okay.
Montana, Steve Daines overcoming an onslaught of fundraising by Democrats. He defeats former governor of Montana, Steve Bullock, to retain his seat. We also have a race that was supposed to be a toss-up, wound up not being competitive at all. Incumbent Joni Ernst in Iowa very closely tied her re-election efforts to President Trump, and it winds up paying off. She defeats Teresa Greenfield, who vastly outraised her, spent about 3 times as much money on advertising. It doesn't pay off. A similar story in South Carolina. You'll remember Jamie Harrison, a record-breaking fundraiser. Tonight, Lindsey Graham literally said, "You wasted your money." He wins re-election in the state of South Carolina, and it wasn't very close.
We are projecting the state of Maine going for Joe Biden. Let's take a look at this. Joe Biden is the winner in the state of Maine, getting 3 out of the 4 electoral votes in the state. Joe Biden, 76,648 votes ahead, 54.2% to 42.6%, a pickup for Joe Biden in the race to 270.
But right now, we have a major projection. CNN projects that Joe Biden is the winner in Wisconsin. He will win 10 electoral votes in this key battleground state. Joe Biden is the winner in Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map right now. With that win, Biden has now gone up to 237 electoral votes, 270 needed to win. Trump remains at 213. A major, major win for Joe Biden in the state of Wisconsin. Let's go over to John King over at the Magic Wall. 237, 213. He's inching closer and closer to the 270 needed to win.
That's a big 10, right? It's just 10 electoral votes. You think just 10, you got to get to 270, but it's a takeaway from the Trump map in 2016, which makes it significant, and it is a trend line as we get through this critical day of the state still counting votes.
Projection, not just a projection, but a major projection right now. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win the state of Michigan, a huge win, 16 electoral votes. Biden wins Michigan. That brings his number. Look at this. Now Biden has 253 electoral votes. Trump has 213. You need 270 to win the presidency. Biden now has 253. Let's go over to John King. Check in with Dana Bash. She's got a closer look on the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. What are you learning, Dana?
That's right, Wolf, and we have a projection to make in the state of Michigan, and that is that incumbent Democrat Gary Peters will go on to another term in the U.S. Senate, defeating Republican challenger John James. This is a back-and-forth race, but the Democrat has eked it out. So let's see where the balance of power is. Democrats have 47 seats. Republicans have 47 seats. 6 seats remain to be called. Remember, Democrats need 4 seats to take back the Senate. That's exactly where they were when they started this race.
All right, let's start in Georgia right now. Look at this. The president's lead over Biden has collapsed. It's only 1,775 votes. 1,775 votes separate Trump and Biden, 49.4% to 49.4%. 16 electoral votes at stake right now in Georgia. Oh, so close. In Pennsylvania, where there's 20 electoral votes and 95% of the estimated vote is in, 49.6% for Trump, 49.2% for Biden. Trump is ahead by only 26,000 plus votes right now. That vote, John King, has collapsed over and over again. It's gone from a few hundred thousand now down to just 26,000. Dana Bash, she's got an update. You're getting some new information on the balance of power in the U.S. Senate, Dana.
That's right, Wolf. A Democratic pickup in the state of Arizona. CNN can project that Mark Kelly, former astronaut, gun control advocate, and husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, will be the next senator from Arizona. This is John McCain's old seat. He's defeating Martha McSally, who was appointed when John McCain passed away, but it is now going to go into Democratic hands. So what does this mean right now for the balance of power? 48 Democrats, 47 Republicans. There are 5 seats yet to be called for this 2020 election in the U.S. Senate.
Overwhelming majority of them right down here, southeast Pennsylvania, in this blue collar, right around this part of the state. Wolf, as you look at these numbers right now, you're building and building and building.
After 4 long, tense days, we've reached a historic moment in this election. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States, winning the White House and denying President Trump a second term. We're able to make this projection because CNN projects Biden wins Pennsylvania, the former vice president, in his 3rd run for the highest office, pulling off a rare defeat of a sitting commander-in-chief. With this victory, Kamala Harris is set to become the first woman and the first person of color to be the vice president. Again, CNN projects Joe Biden will become the 46th president of the United States. And Jake, he is now President-elect Joe Biden.
What a moment in history. We have all been waiting on the edges of our seats since Tuesday. It is the end of a tumultuous presidency, a time of some accomplishments, no question, a time where many Americans throughout the country in shuttered steel towns and in rural America, they felt for the first time, they felt heard, which is important, but it is also, Wolf, it has also been a time of extreme divisions. Many of the divisions caused and exacerbated by President Trump himself. It's been a time of several significant and utterly avoidable failures, most tragically, of course, the unwillingness to respect facts and science and do everything that could be done to save lives during a pandemic. It has been a time where truth and fact were treated with disdain. It is a time of cruelty where official inhumanity, such as child separation, became the official shameful policy of the United States. But now the Trump presidency is coming to an end. With so many squandered opportunities and ruined potential, but also an era of just plain meanness. It must be said, to paraphrase President Ford, for tens of millions of our fellow Americans, their long national nightmare is over.
All right, take a look at this. CNN now projects also another win for the president-elect of the United States, Joe Biden. CNN projects that Nevada and its 6 electoral votes will go for President-elect Biden. That will bring his total right now up to 279 electoral votes. You need 270. You've got 279 right now. Trump still has 213.
Has a major projection to announce, and that is Joe Biden will win Arizona. He is the winner of 11 electoral votes in Arizona. Joe Biden wins the state of Arizona. A major projection right now by CNN. Look at the votes. A little over 11,000 margin. 49.4 to 49.1. Joe Biden again has won the state of Arizona.
This just into CNN. CNN can now project that President Trump will win the state of Alaska. David Chalian is standing by. David, this was expected. What does this tell you?
Yeah, it sure was expected. 3 electoral votes now added to President Trump's column here. That brings him up to 217 electoral votes. You see the vote board there with 71% of the vote now in Alaska. You see that Donald Trump has a healthy 46,000 vote lead, 56.9% to 39.1%. We also projected that Senator Dan Sullivan, the incumbent senator there, will hang on to that seat in Alaska as well. This all came in, Jim, because we got about 70,000 additional votes in the last little bit from Alaska, and it was able to allow us to make these projections there.
It has been 10 days since the election and 6 days since CNN called the race for President-elect Joe Biden. There are still 2 states uncalled until now. Stand by for a CNN projection. CNN can now project Joe Biden has won the state of Georgia, flipping the state red or flipping the red state blue, I should say. Donald Trump has won the state of North Carolina. A major, major development in this historic election. I want to go to David Chalian. David, take us through this.
Yeah, the final 2 states we were able to project, Brianna, because the counties in those states are certifying their county vote totals and sending them into the state. We know in Georgia that there's a hand recount underway, but Joe Biden is the winner of Georgia, 14,152 votes ahead of Donald Trump. 49.5% to 49.2%. No Democrat has won Georgia since 1992. This is a huge victory for the Democrats, a state they've long eyed, like a 10-year-long project to flip this red state blue. And Joe Biden did it with explosive growth in the Atlanta suburban area for the Democratic coalition. Big turnout among African Americans, among women. This is a big prize for the Democrats. And then you noted in North Carolina, Donald Trump is going to hang on to North Carolina. 73,602 votes ahead of Joe Biden. Pretty substantial lead, 50% to 48.6%. Again, we were seeing a majority of the counties reporting in and certifying their vote totals. There is not enough outstanding vote for Joe Biden to come close to overtaking Donald Trump, and therefore Donald Trump is going to hang on to North Carolina and add its 15 electoral votes to his electoral total. That brings us to Joe Biden at 306 electoral votes, Donald Trump at 232 electoral votes. That is a substantial electoral college victory for Joe Biden. In fact, so substantial, it's precisely the kind of victory that Donald Trump labeled a landslide for himself 4 years ago, because that's how many electoral votes he had, 306, and that is what Joe Biden has. And now you've seen the entire map, color in red and blue. This is your new map of American politics and will set the table for the 2024 presidential election, Brianna.